What is up, everyone? Today I want to present you one of the oldest forms of a calculator. So some really ancient piece of technology. Stay tuned. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. In this episode today I will show you around my 1950s Walther calculator. I'm not sure if you are into calculators, but if you are, this thing should mean a lot to you. It is one of the oldest forms of a calculator. It's a mechanical calculator, and it is amazing how this thing works. It is a highly complex and really nice piece of equipment. This was heavily used by financial managements. They were really expensive. You would, if you would translate those numbers that you paid for that machine, it would be something like 20,000 euros in today's money. So yeah, they were really expensive, and they are quite rare. You won't find them often. And if you find them, pick them up. They are a great thing to behold. You should pay attention that everything works on your machine. Mine does. And I want to show you around it to let you see how those ancient piece of technology do work. So guys, my machine, as I've already told you, is from the Walther GmbH, which produces those lovely guns that you know all over the world. Yes, this company produced calculators as well, and the best one money could buy. They were highly sought after and well paid all around the 50s and 60s. Mine came with the original booklet for it. And there it says the name for this machine. It's called Schnellrechenmaschine, which means translated fast calculating machine. And it is the WSR 160. In this booklet you have a good instruction of what you got, what all of those switches do, and how to use this machine. So now let's have a better look on the machine itself. Okay, let's have a look. This machine works like so. You have those dials, and they are the way to write in digits. So those you can pull those up and down, and you see, if you move them, those digits up there move, and they represent the number that you want to calculate in. So so let's have a look. Let's do the number 321. So I've dialed it in 3, 2, 1, and up here it says 321. So now how can we calculate? Down at the bottom there are 2 times of digits. This one here is where everything will be calculated, and this here on the other side shows you the quotient, so how many times you've calculated. So now let's show you how to calculate with this thing. We have to look on the side. It's a bit complicated. You have this handle here onto the side, and this handle you pull it out here like so, and then you can move it in 2 directions. So if you push it right, if you push it backwards, you subtract, and if you push it forwards, you add. So back to 0. So now we want to have the number 321 down here so that we can dial in another number. So let's add it, push it forwards, and now you can see down here 321. Okay. If we want to clear everything down here, we just have to pull this red lever down to the front. Everything goes to 0. If we want to add, push it forward. So now we have 321. So now let's say we want to add another number. So we just have to dial in another number on the front. So let's dial in the number let's add 22 to the 321. So pull it out and circle it around frontwards, and we got 343. So that's the way you do it. If you want to reverse this process, so if you want to go back one step, you just subtract it. So you push it around and circle it back, and we are back to 321. So if you want to add something from the front, if you want to subtract it, other way around, there you go. That is the way this machine works. So you dial in your stuff. Here you have the quotient, and here is your result. And that was the way how things were calculated by professionals in the 60s. So as you can see, there are a lot of more buttons. So we have those two buttons. Let's talk about them. Those will pull this the result bar over one digit. So let's say if you are calculating with hundreds, you just push this thing twice, dial in 1 up here, circle and add, like so, and there you go. I hope you can see that. Down here it says 100. So let's say you want to add to that 2200. You just go around and add it, so you get 2300. So yeah, you can circle this forwards and backwards to get everything lined up as you need it. Like so. I know, guys, it's a bit fiddly with this method, but yeah, it's the only way I know to work it. So guys, that was how to add and how to subtract. So now let's talk about multiplication. So let's say you want to multiply 6 by 3. You dial in the number 6, turn it once to get it down here, and then a second time, and then a third time. So now you got the result, and over here it says you've turned it 3 times. So 3 times 6 is 18. So that's right. So guys, yes, there you have it. This was a little intro for you about my old Walther calculator. For me, it's quite an interesting piece because I do know that my grandfather used this exact machine, not this one, but one of that type, at his first job as a finance minister. So he used this machine, and now it's ancient, but it's fascinating for myself, and it shows how much even without electricity you could achieve by clever engineering, and you really have to appreciate the engineering that went into this masterpiece. It might seem quite old, but it still works a treat. I don't use it quite often. I just, as normal people do, use my normal calculator, but it's quite a good thing to admire history once in a while and have a look at what mankind achieved with what kind of solutions. And this solution for calculating big sums is quite appealing to myself, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that look onto this piece of history. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and goodbye.